Okay, I think we got everything all set up. Welcome to the stream. This is Reliable Rudy. Before we get into any charting, I'm not a licensed financial advisor. It's simply my opinion for entertainment purposes only. We may be taking a couple trades today as well. So keep in mind that I am not going to be 100%. I'm not perfect. Nobody's going to be perfect. Make sure you do your own due diligence before you attempt any trade, especially someone on YouTube. Never follow someone just blind on YouTube without doing your own due diligence. That is just one, it's unprofessional, puts a lot of pressure on me as well if I'm putting people in that position. And as you guys know, my goal is to take as many trades where I feel the odds are in my favor. And, sometimes a play for me isn't going to be a play for you. So, let's go right into it. Here's the Nasdaq. First off, let's go to a daily. This is the NQ futures. Broke through this high, which is what we were looking for. We went positive, positive on the NQ. We eked back negative a little bit on this consolidation, but hold pretty much at this previous high right here. And that seems to be where my EMA is at, around that 1140 or 11,400. And a couple good days in the market. Now, we just have this identified. The previous high wick from Wednesday marked. We had the previous high from Tuesday marked. We have halfway in between that marked, and if I take the bottom of the run right here to the top of the run, this is also a potential add to anybody who missed out on this run or this breakout price and they're just waiting for a consolidation pullback or an opportunity to buy. So you can see getting very close to that first line, that does look like there is a little bit of buying pressure, but the big picture here goes on a run, builds a U shape. Now, if this was upside down, it would look like this. Goes on a run, builds a U shape. Boom. There's your little run. There's your U shape. When do we go negative, negative? Let's zoom in for this, guys. Boom. We're starting to get close to go negative right here. As soon as it gives out this support, this wick bottom is the low that I can find, you can attempt to short. I still got some fake outs right there, but boom, boom. Two red engulfing candles, and then the next candle back test the top of that wick. You can't draw it up any better than that, guys, and it's followed with this nice bull flag pattern. Now, if I go down to the volume sticks, you can see we actually have increasing red volume right there. Boom, boom. Consolidation period. Boom. The middle never breaks over top of this previous candle, and then there's your follow through. It gets better, guys. I'm gonna go and break down some more stuff for you. This is the NQ. Now this is the Nasdaq Composite. This is what the Nasdaq Composite looked like and ended yesterday. For starters, right near this previous high. Boom. Let's just mark this high right here. This is where we close. You see that? Now, keep that in retrospective because here's your gap fill. Boom. Fills the gap, has your consolidation, and boom, boom. Back-to-back green candles. Now we are looking for this previous high wick right there. And same story. Bottom of the move, top of the move. Boom. Just like that, guys. Just like that, guys. Now it gets better. Let's go to the TQQ. You guys know I've talked about the TQ. I hold the TQ. I still hold the TQ, but what did we talk about? We talked about this gap fill on the TQ. Now, there are traders out there, or investors out there that say there's no need to look at all three. There's no need to look at the IXIC and the NQ futures. And then I bring up the perspective of, hey, what about the TQQQ? And they say, no, it just trades relevant to the Nasdaq, the IXIC. Well, here's the difference. The IXIC doesn't get doesn't get the volume. The people are buying the TQQ and they're buying the SQQ at the top volume mover almost every single day. When you combine the two, I would almost put that it is the top volume mover of the day. So how can it not be relevant to look at the TQ and the SQ? They're just, to me, it just sounds crazy. It's crazy talk. But we look at this gap down right here. Look at what we filled yesterday. This is what I've been talking about. I've been talking about cutting, trimming the position up at this gap. We're buying consolidation periods as we're getting ready to go positive. We bought consolidation periods down here, and then as we're sloping back up positive. And boom, we have outs up here at this gap fill. Guys, you can't draw for a potential trim area, 13% on a trim. Come on. Now, same story. Previous high, wick, and then run this from bottom of the move to the top of the move. Boom, we're looking for consolidation periods in there, and probably halfway in between the top and there. And just like that, we're set up. If we wanted to re-enter, now it gets a little bit better. Now this is a move that I did yesterday at the trading day, and I'll go into a 15-minute chart and show you guys. We hedged up with the SQ. Now I still have, it looks where my entry is probably that 42 flat is where I believe it was, but we have a low, a higher low, higher low, higher low, and now we're sitting at this point where the TQ is running into a gap fill, and the SQ is at the brink of, potentially breaking for finally a lower low. We are elevated on the downside, so I'm expecting that we're going to get consolidation periods at least up to the top of this wick. The further that we get away from this, the better my return is what I looked at it. But we never forced ourselves into this. When we started taking profits in multiple positions, we said to ourselves, hey, we got to make sure we keep the SQQQ on watch. And when it did this volume right here, boom, right there on the SQ, goes on a run, builds a U shape. How many of them have I showed you? The U shape we're looking for, or the extension we're looking for, is this previous high, right? We got an entry off 42 flat. Where's 42 flat? Boom, right there. Now why did I put the entry off 42 flat? One, at the time I didn't really take into retrospect this downtrend. That's going to play into the cards eventually, and you can see we're already going to gap up over that, so the downtrend is irrelevant. But as soon as it pushed over this high, boom, we're pushed over that high. We're sitting here full green engulfing candle. We said, hey, how about an order right off of that high? You're at 42.07. Let's throw an order in off 42. And boom, we get triggered off of this candle. And the next candle closes down here. Were we worried? No, no. We just had a monster of a start to this year, with multiple other swings and in the TQ, and we took a ton of profits. Let's hedge the position a little bit and throw a little bit of that cash, that working capital, into the SQQ, start building a little bit of a hedge to the X amount of positions that we have. That is what the goal was. It was just to simply build a hedge. It's not that I'm looking like a genius right here. It's just something that I felt comfortable doing, and that's why I pulled the trigger on the SQ. That's all it is. But on a more retrospect, we are going to look to add that position even with the gapped up elevated price, because we are getting ready to go positive. We are getting ready to go positive. What is this going to look like when we gap up? With the gap up going over yesterday's high, we could put consolidation periods into the top of these body candles right here, or we could go halfway between open price and the gap fill, which is probably somewhere on top of these body candles. Okay, just like that. And if we end up being wrong on the SQ, okay, you can put a stop loss underneath this wick right here and You know, maybe it comes back down here, sets a higher low from this, but we think that it's possible that we actually do get down to this downtrend here. So, uh, yeah, just looking for a nice little scalp trade off of this. If I can take any profits on it, you know, I'd take that as a win. And who knows, maybe I take some profits off of this 44.25 and it keeps going up and I'm able to take profits even higher. That is what the goal is going to be. Grom, man. This is getting ready to gap up to the gap fill. We took a trade in Grom yesterday at the break of 2. Boom. It's about a 192 fill, I'm pretty sure. And had some outs up here, and we ended up cutting the position on this red candle as it was full red engulfing. And we said, no, that's good enough. We got good profits on this. Let's just take the whole position. And now it's gonna gap up to 326. God, this would have been a hell of a trade right here. But it can't be perfect all the time. To actually go pull up the portfolio, make sure that we're getting ready. We have opening bell here in 3 minutes. Yeah, yesterday was a good day. Yesterday was a good day. Now let's see what we got going on in the watch real quick, and then HKD holding over 11. That's going to be a watch. Yeah, so that is your Nasdaq. Let's go over oil real quick, because oil is still just kind of chugging along, and it looks like oil is actually goes on a run, builds a U-shape type thing. If this is a catalyst to finally, and look how this support holds up right here. False breakout to the downside, boom, volume pushes it back up. Why is volume able to push it back up? This is just previous highs right here. Previous highs. For positive, you're expecting buyers to come in. Now, can we finally push over 82.50? That is going to be the question. Can oil finally push over 82.50? And, you know, it's kind of just been trading sideways right here. But this is starting to look a lot better right there. When you look at it from this perspective, that, you know, got a nice upward channel forming right here. Can that be the catalyst to finally push this downtrend? Yes, we are going to get a market open here. Let's be ready. Man, Grom. Let's just remove that from the watch list. We're not taking any trades in that today. And we should be market open here any minute. And that is the next candle. And we are market open. Let's see what we got for movers right here. Oh boy, Neo, have a day. Big gap up from Neo. Let's actually just go take a little piece off of that. Actually, let's go make sure our daily chart looks pretty good. So gaps up at the previous high. We had a gap fill right here at 13.50. Now we're expecting buyers to come into this, but nice little move right there. Palantir, huge gap down. And this was a nice little fake out. Talk about a bull trap here, guys. Did Palantir report earnings? No, they didn't. Could have took the trade at the break. You would have bought the high, and you would be eating it right now. Rig with a big gap down, trying to reclaim that gap. Oh, some of these oil plays really took a hit right here. Be big, still holding positive, positive. Here's consolidation potentially right here. If this can curl up and reclaim, we can think about a position there. That's what we want to see. We want to see this SQ turn red. And we can think about throwing an order off of this. Oof, it's going to turn green. We wanted to give up this gap fill right here. Start filling this gap. And let's see consolidation period to this previous high, which we got 42.30. So let's think about taking a trade on this. And it's trying to hold this gap fill. You guys can see it firsthand right here. It's going to try and hold this. But okay, now we're giving it up. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, so 42.40. Let's go back to our 15-minute. Lumen catching a bid right there. Holy buckets. Okay, so Lumen filled the gap. Boom. Now this was an old trend line right here. We could think about an order off this 575. New with a nice gap up. That is beautiful. MRO. Oh. That is what you like to see right there. Nice 10% gap up there. MO. VLO. So oil just is a mix. FVR still churning away. I'm not quite sure what the mix-up is. Where some oil plays were just getting hammered. And some were looking pretty good. The ExxonMobil. Big gap down. And XOY with a big gap down. So basically, these are the four big oil plays right here. All down pretty significantly. And then here's a smaller oil play, smaller oil play, smaller oil play, smaller oil play. BKKT still sitting right around that area. What's HKD doing? Okay, HKD, this is going to be one to watch for today, I think. We took a trade in this. Let's clear the chart. And we're still trying to hold this 11 flat. If this wants to hold 11 flat, you can see we're looking at breakout prices. Now we got this double top look right here. Breakout price called 1110. Hussa still sitting right around this area. Med. Let's go to a daily chart on this. So still holding above this. This med trade does not look terrible. Let's actually test the waters with a little bit more. Let's go to a 15-minute chart, make sure that this isn't okay. So opens down, green engulfing. You know, we'd like to see this get over 22, but we are still holding positive right here with a nice green candle right there. We could potentially add And the cows. Let's go take a look at the cows. Talk about an ETF, boys. Nasdaq is sitting in the shitter right now, on the day at least. And, you know, getting a nice wick top right there. I would expect that with some of those bigger oil. But, you know, holding green on the day as well. So, you know, a couple different ways that you can look at it. Has a nice U shape right here. We're looking for breakout prices above this 50 flat. Can it push 50 flat today? We're going to find out, I think, because we're at 49.70 and turning full new day's high 49.80. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Keep going. Um, DVN, another oil play, not huge in the red like those other couple plays. Excel, how about this one, guys? This was a live trade we took for you. I don't remember exactly where the entry was. I believe it was 1650. Yeah, this day flirted, held 1650. This is when we made an entry position. We were positive on our commodity. We said, okay, let's dip into it. Then we gap up, fill the gap. Come on, 1650 all day. Had 3 days of consolidation. Now we're actually goes on a run, builds a U shape. You guys see what I'm looking at right there? Boom, goes on a run, builds a U shape. Gorgeous. That's how you draw it up. Let's see what else we got. Grom, HKD. We want to watch, make sure that's holding 11 all day. And just some consolidation periods down here, guys. This is what we're dealing with. But Lumen, we are gonna keep Lumen on watch right here. Here's your daily. I mean, look at this. That held is really good support right there. And now you're getting this cone look. You guys see this? When you start seeing cone looks like this at the bottom or tops of large runs, boom, you see that cone look? This is an indicator for trend reversal. Now, had we gone up here, you know, if it's showing a cone pattern up here, then you're saying, hey, trend reversal could be looking to the downside. Now we're down here at these lows right here for a profitable company. Profitable company. This looks like a discount all day. We go to a month chart. How about that, guys? Off the top, off the highs, flat top, 90% freaking tank right there. How about that? Huh? And now we're talking about potential consolidation period or potential move up to this 7. I want to see this come back down into this range though. If we go to a 15-minute chart, you know, on a 15-minute chart it looks pretty damn good, but it doesn't look like that on an actual chart. It gaps up, and now here's where we're at. MRO, look at this one. How about this one? Gaps up to 32.64. How long have we been sitting there saying MRO? Boom, 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 boom. 27 flat, 27 flat, 27 flat. Boom. Finally get this huge gap up right here. That's what we're talking about. When oil's still sitting here at this 81.50, oil hasn't even broken out over 82.50 yet. AOSN, this is definitely one that we could go and dip into. This is green today. Hell yeah, we'll go and dip into it. Getting ready to go positive. Now you got this green engulfing candle. You'd like to see now this is very early in the day. You'd like to see that confirmed close over top of this 42.82 right here. So let's go into a 15-minute chart and think and look and see if this is going to be sustainable. Look, we're not far off of our breakout price right here. Boom, it gaps up at our breakout price. And then it goes full green engulfing. We've been talking about break of 43. We're 13 cents off break of 43. How about we throw an order in off of 43.05 and see if this gets triggered. We still have a decent amount of green in the portfolio as well, so that's a good sign. Be big. It is starting to give you a little bit of confirmation. You know, you do have a wick buyer right there in this middle of the green candle. And you're still positive, and you're holding a higher low at the moment with this wick. A lot of volume coming in. Let it figure out which way it wants to go. This is just the opening candle. We have 4 minutes left on this candle. Can this start curling up? And we do have a downtrend that we have set right here. A couple of them. So, yeah, let it figure out what it wants to do and then go from there. Matt X, this looks like it's just going to be a cut. You know, but still has hope. Oh yeah, this looks like consolidation period on Matt. So we're still positive. You know, can it start getting some buyers and curl up? We can think about adding. Med, same story. You want to see this 119.50 hold. Not as good of a consolidation look as the other. And MO right back down. Could have took some profits. But, you know, I'd say this looks pretty dang good. Neo is trading way up there. Already came down, filled the gap. Let's see if that can hold. PayPal is actually green. PayPal looks pretty good, showing good strength. Wick down to the trend line that we had set. Now it's turning full green. Let's see what PayPal looks like on a day chart. Yeah, PayPal, how many of them looked like this? Boom, goes on a run, builds a U shape, and they've already broken out over top of these highs. PayPal's setting up. It's already positive. Looks pretty dang good. Yeah, we're good with our position on that. PLTR already back up to the downtrend. Look at that. Look at that run right there. SWN. You know, we want to see if this trend line can actually show any strength right there. Putting a wick into it at the moment, so one to keep on watch today. I think we have a report on this Thursday. HKD still holding 11, guys. Right at 11. Let's go to a 15-minute chart here. Gap's down. Let's see how it acts with this gap. And then if we can get a breakout of this 11.10, we want to take the trade on this. TQ, you know, turning green right here, but we are getting ready to go negative. Let's go over to our SQ position, see if this is a potential opportunity that we want to buy. You know, I think we actually got triggered in on some shares already. Nope, I didn't put that order in. We're right around where that order would be. Let's test the waters with it and see how this is going to go. And now we're turning red. Let's see if we can actually get one off this 42 flat, which is where we entered yesterday. We're going to dip into a little market. Then we're going to put one off of 42.50 or 42.25 and see if that can get filled. Okay, so orders are in. And we did just get triggered off 42.25. It's alright. We're just entry level positions right now, guys. It's nothing crazy. And we feel this is a decent hedge basically to our entire portfolio. So yeah, we like this one. Now we're coming right back down to our original entry at 42. You know, the TQ looks pretty good for a continuation. We're just building a hedge right now. That's all we're saying to ourselves, is we're building a hedge. Let's go back to HKD and see what that's looking like. HKD at that 1110. Let's test the waters here. Just went positive, positive on a 15. Confirmation right there. Boom, you already did it originally right here at the end of the day. Gaps down, fills the gap. No big orders off of that, so we think that we're good right here. Let's see if we can test the waters with HKD. Just an entry level position. Let's see if we can get better price on any of that. But we want to make sure we have our toes into there. CrowdStrike catching a nice bid today. PayPal looks good for continuation. Let's go look at the daily chart on INDO. Yeah, you can see that wick buyer. And now we're sitting at this our 620 right here. We're positive, positive. Is it going to hold this uptrend? You know, you can't really pull this uptrend much further over. So we're gonna see how this wants to go, how this wants to act right there. Be big, turn green on the day. Let's clear the chart here. You can see holds positive. We took a trade in it yesterday. Now we're getting consolidations into the middle of this green candle. Doesn't look that bad. BNGO, we took trades on this yesterday on a day chart. Looks like it's actually getting ready to go positive, positive. Let's take a look at it. You know, breakout price over top of this next wick. It's flirting with it right now. Goes on a run, builds a U shape, but could give you that head and shoulders top look. But with 3 wicks going into this right shoulder, if you're calling it a right shoulder, with pretty good volume, let's keep that one on watch. AOSN gave up 43 flat. So we're sitting underneath 43. You know, nice increasing volume. We're positive, positive. Let's go over to the daily chart. We're getting ready to go positive. A little bit of indecision right there. This is why you'd like to reasonably wait for that close above your EMA. So on a 15-minute chart, it looks pretty good. So let's keep that one on watch for a bit. Open catching a bid, affirm on continuation. FVRR, really good volume. We said we like this one for continuation. Why? Because we're setting a close pretty much at the top of this channel right here. And yeah, we got this gap fill that needs to be filled here at, this is getting pretty close to that 37.10. Let's throw an order off 37.10 and see if we can get filled on that. Just for a trim of the position, nothing crazy. We got to respect this downtrend and this gap. So let's throw it. Let's actually go 37.05. Let's see if we can get that filled. Okay. That is currently at current price 22%er, boys. So yeah, it looks, we like taking profits over 22%. Planet catching a bid right here. This has a catalyst, goes on a run, built a U shape. We're getting ready to go positive. Planet one to keep on watch. SoFi catching a bid, continuation. Boom. Disrespecting the channel. Now we're coming up to this previous high. 6 flat. We think we can get 650 though. Oil holding above 81.50. What's our TQ looking like? TQ looks like it's getting ready to break out for more here. It looks like it wants to take more. So our SQ sitting at 41.91. If we end up needing to put a stop loss in for this, I think our position, if the price can break back to over this 41.50 or underneath this 41.50, we think that this looks pretty good for a continuation on TQ. And it looks like we do have an official gap fill right there on the money. So somebody had an order. I can almost promise somebody had a direct order where current price is at. Zoom holding green on the day. Looks pretty good. Let's go to a daily chart on this. Yeah, getting ready to go positive, positive. Let's go ahead and pull the trigger on Zoom potentially here. Let's go back to a daily chart. Disney flirting with that downtrend. Look at the indecision here. Right at the end of a wedge pattern that we had drawn. Gaps up, fills the entire gap, goes all the way down for a new low, and get the bot up back to these mid 40s. Neo looks almost identical. Man, this was down at 950 at one point. BNGO catching a bid. Let's go over to a 15-minute chart and see if we want to pick more of this up. And that is new high. So let's go ahead and test the waters a little bit on this BNGO. Let's see how that goes. HKD, kind of this wick top right here. Now that doesn't have this close, we have increased selling pressure with a candle looks like this. It looks like buying pressure, but when the candle looks like this, it does not look the greatest. So this is why we said we only wanted entry position on HKD. Let's see if it can hold this 11 flat. Let's put a stop loss in at 1090. If it gives up 1090, we don't want to hold it. We can even go down to like 1088. INDO catching a little bit of a bid. You can see shade bottom right there. I wish that the 15-minute chart worked better with that, but it is what it is. TQ just turned green on the day. You know, we thought that we were going to get consolidation periods back to this 21. It looks pretty good, honestly. So I might just go mark it out of this SQ or put a stop loss in, but is seeing rejection right there. Here's your gap fill. At 21.74 is where we close. Now the gap's filled. Let's see. Let's give this a little bit more time. We want to make sure that we have some confirmation that we're going to get more upside. How about rig? This is why when you got the profits that you like, you know, maybe just don't even have a stop loss in. We didn't have any stop losses in. And we could have got faked out of multiple of these plays, but you know, rig looks like it's getting ready to churn back to the upside. How about that trade, guys? 25%. Zoom catching a little bit of resistance at these previous tops. SoFi catching a little bit of resistance at that 6 flat. Let's go to a 15-minute chart and we can look at that. There's your 6 flat on the dot. Boom. Okay, that looks a lot better, Loman. Okay, now let's see just normal consolidation right here and see if this wants to end up being some sort of channel, upward channel that we can take advantage of. Meta looked good for continuation. Sure did. Way elevated up here. ALSN below your EMA now. Now let's see if this can set a confirmed higher low. If it wants to get rejected, we just want to see 4150 hold. T-net, we sold a little bit of T-net market as it wicked up to that gap. We didn't get filled, so we cut a little bit of that yesterday. Be big. Doesn't look half bad. Let's see if we can go up and fill this gap at 68. And TQ showing rejection right here. So let's hop over to the SQ and we can think about adding more to this position if we want to. Oh yeah, SQ looks pretty good here, guys. Looks good for a continuation. If it takes out this wick high, this just so happens to be at 42.50, you can up positions off the break of that high, but it's showing a wick right now, so give it a little bit of time. HKD, we might just go and just give that up. We might have FOMO'd in for a little bit of shares on that. We can always re-enter if we feel the need for a re-entry. HKD should be right in around here somewhere. And here we are with that. Filled the gap. Now it's showing this red as a red candle, red cell. Is it gonna close? So let's no, we said we were gonna stop loss this at 1190. Let's just stop loss it. 1090. It's in place. It's gonna get stopped out any second. That's fine. No size whatsoever. This might be a play later on in the day. Maybe this 1090 hold. Who knows? Let's go back to the SQ because this is what we're more focused on. And that is a break of that 4250. So let's go find our SQ. And let's see what the bid and ask is looking like on this. Let's mark it in for a few more shares here. See if we can get a better price. Nice. There we go. Let's go mark it in right there. That's a decent market order. Now let's see if it can catch a bid. Yes, sir. There we go. We just want to see this churn positive. We can honestly even mark it in for more shares at 82.80. We think that the TQ looks better still. Keep that in mind. I think the TQ looks better because it's positive. This is still negative, but this is our hedge. We want to hedge our positions. Man, I wish I trimmed a little bit off this MO. Definitely should have. Zoom getting rejected. A little bit of false breakout. That's what everything's looking like right now. False breakout. So I think this SQ looks like a pretty decent play. PLTK holding strong. Not really too much selling. Med. Effing med. We'll give this trend line previous wick 117. Excuse me. Mad X actually getting some decent buying in there. We want to see this curl back up, turn positive, see how it acts with this gap, and then we can take breakout to 40 or 64. Hustle at this 390. This is where I had orders in yesterday. God, I wish these charts were a lot better. MRVI, that looks like the top of the downtrend. Let's see how it acts with it. This could be a potential cut. Still positive though. I think we're good. Confirmed higher low. Let's let it just work itself out. Some of these plays you just need to let them work themselves out. TQ showing more rejection. Let's go back to the SQ. And the SQ is green on the day. So we talked about breakout prices right here. Let's put in an order off of that 42.50 and see if it can get filled. We might just mark it in for some more shares. There we go. Pull back a little bit. Let's go 42.60. There we go. It gave up 75. Now it reclaimed 75 again. 8 minutes left on this candle. We are getting some good volume into the Qs. There we go. There we go. I'm back down into those 60s. There we go. Mid 60s. Let's mark it in for a couple right there, just in case we don't get filled at this 60. Now we can put this 60 order in. There we go. We got filled at 60. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Even if it goes lower, let's throw one in off 42.50. And that should be good. That should be previous wick right there. Yep, 42.50 is that previous wick, which is halfway inside of this green candle. We like the position that we have right here. Now we're just going to sit on our hands a little bit and see how she goes. $42.54. 42.53, 42.50 should have got filled right there. So now we're a little bit below, which is fine. Now it's looking like a little bit more of a wick. Let's see if volume can come back in and reclaim 42.50. If this does close as a red candle, we'll probably just cut it and look for another opportunity. But it looks pretty good. We might just hold it for the hedge. And it is catching some volume still, so if this reclaims 42.50, we can add. $42.48, $42.49, $42.50. Let's add. Now it's holding 42.50. Tried to. Broke it again. Not what you wanted to see. Gave up 42.40. About to turn red on this candle. We'll give it this uptrend. If it reclaims 42.50 again, I will be very tempted to add. Now we're officially a red candle. Now we're just sitting on this for a hedge. Okay, that's fine. Let's sit on that for a hedge and see how the other positions are doing. We did take a little bit into BNGO. It looks like it's giving up this 90. Getting ready to go negative, negative. Well, let's think about putting a stop loss on this. Even though it should catch some good volume, we could go days low at 180. We could go below this wick, which is at 170. We could give it down here, which is 170. It is turning green, and we have 50 seconds left on this candle. Let's see how it closes. See what direction this SQ wants to go before we throw an order in off that one. SQ is at 42 flat now, so I think we can hold. There's a break of the trend line. Let's give it this bottom trend line, see how it acts. NRG looks like it's going to be continue the wait for NRG. We're looking for 33 breaks on NRG. Still sitting in negative territory there. Planet, we said, still just sitting in negative right there. We're looking at, dollar break of the dollar. Rig holding yesterday's high. Goes on a run, builds a U shape. It's what the TQ is trying to look like right here. And I'm betting against it with the SQ. If the TQ can get another leg up, I think all my positions are going to be looking good. If it goes down, then I don't think my positions are going to be looking as good as what it may seem. So this is why we're forcing ourselves into the SQ short, and we're going to see how it goes. Right at that 42.25. It's a nice hammer candle, but that's what it looks like on the TQ right here. It looks like a hammer candle continuation, but now the TQ is showing this double top look. Maybe this trend line's meant to be more like that, the bottom wick. And now we did just reclaim 42.25. We will gladly add more of this, guys. As soon as this turns into a full green engulfing candle at 42.38, so let's say if it gets up to 42.40, we're going to look to add. Holding above 42.25. And there we did just get a 42.30, so catching a little bit of a bid and looking like continuation right here. Let's pull it back up. We're gonna stay true to this play because it looks like a hedge for our positions. And if the TQ looks like it's going to be bullish, and there is your full green engulfing candle. So let's give it a little bit of time. We still have 10 minutes left on this candle, so showing a little bit of resistance right there. Now here's possibly a retest of that 42.25. And there's 42.25. How does it act? Let's go ahead and mark it in for some, as it's holding that 42.25. And let's look to buy some more. If this wants to keep pushing, there we go. That was a beautiful consolidation period right there that we were looking for. Now it's still fighting with this right here. So by no means is this a set in stone play. But if this turns up and goes positive, I'm expecting pullback in the TQ and a run in the SQ. Gave up 42.25. That's fine. And right back up to 42.25. Hold on, I'll be right back, guys. Sorry about that. I had to take that phone call. Wasn't nothing important. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep nursing this SQ right here because, you know, it looks like there is weakness in the market. You know, there is some green over here on the watch list, but nothing that's really too concerning to us. FVRR, we want to take a little bit off of that, potentially up at that 37 gap. Doesn't look like it's going to get there. It looks like it got rejected. Let's go look at that FVRR real quick, and then we'll come back. Yeah, so really close. Really close. Where do we put the order? 37.05. Didn't get filled, but it still looks strong, so we'll give FVRR a little bit of time. Meta looked strong. You know, Meta's actually flirting with this EMA, but building a nice bull flag. Good volume, still continuing to go into Meta. Grom, man, Grom is just gonna kill me looking at this. I should just take it off. And Lumen catching a nice bid right there. Called this one out early, guys. Now, it might not be too late. There's your gap up right to the top end of the channel. Sells all the ways off, fills the gap, and now we are getting ready to go positive, positive. So we can potentially jump into this Lumen. Let's just do it for a live trade, just in case uh, this SQ wants to go against me. Let's have some buys today, and let's jump into Lumen. Lumen doesn't look half bad. It's got size on the bid. Already done 3.7 million in volume today, and let's give it a try, guys. If this gets consolidation pullbacks to this 525, let's put a 530 order on that. So let's go for another set right there, and we'll limit that at 530. So if that gets filled, then we will take a little bit more of an ad on Lumen, and we will go from there. Hussa holding this 390. Grom's just gonna kill me, so I'm just gonna take this off the watch because I don't even want it up there. Some good size on that yesterday. ALST. Now this is what we're looking for right there. We're getting ready to retest that 43. And this is why we like that 43. So that false breakout right there a little bit. Now it came back down below it. I think it actually even filled this 42.50 gap. Let's go take a look. Not quite. So gaps. Oh yeah, it did. Sure did. Sure did, boys. Look at that order right there. So let's go ahead and punch in for a little bit at ALSN. You know, probably a little bit higher than we would have wanted to, but we want to make sure we get at least a little bit of a buy-in off of this. Oil looks like it's about ready to give up that 81, but this is where we have that trend line set. So let's see if this can hold that. It looks bearish. It looks bearish. Why? Because this is when we go negative, negative. Now, can it hold the trend line is the big ask. Let's go back to the SQ and see how we're sitting there. Right around this 42.25. A lot of indecision in this whole candle, this whole set. Big thing, you gap up, and now you fill this gap, and now can it go on a run after that? Now, if it comes back down to this 41.80, it's going to look like a nice U shape. If I go over to the TQ, I'm going to show you guys. See how it looks like it goes on a run, builds a U shape. We're still positive, positive right here. So I'm saying that that this is going to go negative and the SQ is going to go positive. But if I'm wrong and the TQ goes positive, we just cut the SQ. Okay, we can look for another day for that, and we can expect some of these positions that we're in to start turning green on the day. That is the goal. Oil still flirting with this 81. You know, oil looks bearish right there, but it does have wicks for buyers, but a lot of increased selling pressure right there. Lumen, marketed in right where we're at pretty much, and now we're looking for consolidations back down to this 530 right there, which will be a red engulfing candle if it gets filled, so maybe not the greatest order, but we're okay. If that 530 doesn't get filled, then we're going to be just fine. Nog. Nog looks pretty good, so this is an oil play that looks pretty dang good. Getting ready to break over week's high and last week's high as well. You're getting ready to go positive, positive. I'd say Nog looks pretty good. But oil could give up that 81, and who knows, maybe some of these oil plays turn bearish. PayPal, we said PayPal looked decent. How many of them went on that run and then broke over last week's high? So last week's high comparison for PayPal is at 81 flat. 81 flat. Now if this goes on a run and takes out that 81, you know, I think it's going to be looking pretty good. And the SQ is still sitting above this 42.25. We're sitting right at it. So, I mean, there's indecision in the market. It's just going to take a little bit of time to figure out which direction this wants to go. PSTG, we said we want to see some sideways consolidation. It just went straight up. And then it traded down. Now it's getting ready. It's building. You have your increase in volume. Boom, increase in volume. And now fan sideways. Now it's getting ready to take out this high. Let's look at the daily chart on PSTG. You can see been trading in this channel. Is this going to be the false breakout? Is this going to wick on us and then end up trading inside this channel again? It's getting ready to slope up positive. So, you know, at a 27.20 break, doesn't look half bad. It's got a wedge pattern. You got a solid uptrend that this is where this channel is meeting up at. Put 2 wicks into that uptrend, and now getting ready for a potential break of this channel. Could it consolidate and react with this? We do not have a confirmed higher low, so that is what we're saying. We're saying that this is potentially going to come trade back down and give you that confirmed higher low. I don't really like the trend lines that try to follow this straight up. We'd like to see it more like that, let's say. So if we get pullbacks down into that 2650, that's what we're looking for. Baba, you know, looks like it traded down, filled this gap finally, and then traded right back up. Go to a 15-minute chart here. Here's your gap down, and then there's your gap fill buyers. You know, this says that it gaps down all the ways to here. It doesn't show that on a 15, so that's interesting. And we're holding up. Open next candle. It wanted to break out of that 42.50. Let's see if it fills. It does leave a gap here at this 42.18, so very close to it. It looks like the TQ is winning. As I say that, price starts going up. You know, if this ekes positive, we're talking about breakout price at this 42.80. So now we got the 42.18 filled. Doesn't look like there is any size on that at all. And now this is about to give up. I'm gonna go at least test the trend line right here. We have buyers on both directions. Early signs of a potential channel. And if you do get a breakout test of this channel again, that is going to break out over higher highs, higher lows. Cows with a little bit of a fake out actually looks bearish. The cows looks bearish on a day chart, looks good. It filled the gap today, got good buyers off of that gap. Let's see which direction that wants to go. Another sideways consolidation day for Amazon right now. Now it's kind of leaving you that double top look. The confirmed higher low, it wicks for a new low right here. Is it a confirmed higher low? Are we going to go retest, fill one of these gaps? Here's a 86 and here's a 90. Google has a gnarly gap right there. Looks like potential retracement. TQ looks good though. I gotta say, I'm taking this SQ trade when the TQ looks good. We just think that this can potentially trade down. This is this candle. It would not surprise me if it traded down, tested this, buyers came in, and we set a close price pretty much right where we're at, give or take. So, I mean, the TQ looks a little bit, it looks bullish on a longer time frame, but I still think that this SQ has a chance today. I mean, when we go back out to the daily, this is why we're testing the waters with it, building the position a little bit, because you have this support. Is this going to break this downtrend? That'll give us confirmation that this bull run is actually true. So if the bull run in any way is not true, we're going to see at least a retest or this SQ catch a little bit of a bid, because this is low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. But could this potentially be the wedge pattern? Are we going to retest back up here at this 50? We're talking about buying it down here at this 42. Retest of this wedge pattern is a 25% run. So if we're risking $1 right here to hedge the position, we're risking 3% to hedge the position, and then we can get that confirmation that, hey, this bull run actually has some weight behind it. And that is what we're looking at right here. So SQ still flirting with this 2. I can see the SQ catching a bid. It came down, retested, and sets for another higher low, and now it is actually catching a little bit of a bid right here. Yes, sir. This is what we're looking at. This is what we've been looking at right here. Now it just reclaimed 42.50. Let's go throw an order. Man, Is it gonna hold this 42.50? Let's throw an order off 42.50. Oh, no, we're gonna make sure it holds this 42.50. Reclaim 42.50 right there again. Yeah, let's go for it. Ordering off 42.50. Let's see if this gets triggered or not. And boom, we're triggered. Did not have many orders out that 42.50. It's alright, we FOMO'd into a little bit of there. And there we go, we are reclaimed over that 42.50. Not just yet. Doesn't want people to think that this is gonna go just yet. And holding above this 42.50. And Lumen looks like it's working for us. So, yeah, I mean, and ALSN looks like it's working for us. Let's throw an order on off this 42.90. 42, actually, we could go 43 flat. Looks like could if it rolls over on us, we're probably buying the top right there. Let's go with that 42.95 because this could be have some sort of trend line in right there, or downtrend, where this is a wedge pattern. So we actually want to take this trade when we're talking about a breakout up here at this 43.75. Oh, my dog needs to go out. Let's make sure this SQ isn't giving us another opportunity to up the position, and we'll go from there. So let's see what this looks like when we come back. It looks like, still indecision there. There's still, yep, there's still definitely buyers for that TQ. And if the TQ keeps looking like that, that is what we're worried about, that this isn't actually going to go positive. This is going to fake us out a little bit. But definitely a little bit of strength, a little bit different feel today than yesterday when we were looking for this. We looked for the SQ yesterday, and here's the start of the day. Boom, 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 boom. Just looks bearish on the SQ right here, but TQ looked bullish. You know what I mean? But now, are we going to get potential retracements? You know, where this previous high is right here at 44. So we're anything that we're taking right here, we're looking for outs into that 4% trade. Not the greatest, but at least it's hedging our positions in case we get continuation further in that. So if this wants to break out more to the downside, we'll gladly look to take some profits in some of our other plays. We have some plays that are still working for us. Excel, just churning away, guys. This was a live trade I took last week. Took the trade last week as it held this 1650. Here's your 1650. Look at these wicks right here. Boom. Now you break through it, you rest on top of it. 1650. Now when we're upping the position, upping the position during when we're seeing this green engulfing candle form, we have entries in at 1660 and 1665 as it's breaking over the daily high. And now this is the continuation that we're getting. Beautiful extension right there. That's how you draw it up almost. Nog, we said this was a potential play, getting rejected at days and weekly and last week's high. Could this be the pullback that we're looking for? You know, it's still a red candle at the end of the day, and we're not quite positive yet. This could be a fake out right there. Lumen's looking not half bad. It's truly sloped up, ready to go positive. Oil, we did say oil looked bearish, you know, but we at the end of the day we're still positive. We're expecting buyers to come in on oil, but pretty solidified channel here. And we're at the top end of that channel, so playing with fire with oil as well, but we think oil looks decent. I gotta go let the dogs out. Let's go switch it back over to this SQ trade. And yeah, it looks like rejection, so TQ looks pretty good. Can it hold this trend line by the time I get back? If not, you know, I'll take a little bit on the chin, but you know, it is what it is. We'll be back. Yeah, go out. Yeah, go outside. I knew when I came back my headset was gonna be off. Yeah, you guys didn't miss anything. I basically just said, we're waiting for confirmation on which way this TQ and the SQ is gonna go. We're sitting in the SQ because we think that there's a few plays out there that are looking a little bit uh, bearish, like they need to pull back just a little bit. Okay, so we just simply start building into an SQ position where we feel okay with it, and we're letting it ride. If this ends up going against us, we'll gladly just cut it and wait for another day to do it. So, do we have anyone watching? No, it's alright. Matt X went negative negative on a 15, looks a little bit bearish on the day. But on the daily chart right here, filled the gap. Okay, here's a little bit of sell off from that gap. And now let's see if this can actually get a breakout of this. 64, call it. MRO actually not looking that bad. Good volume right there. Getting ready to go back into positive at a break of this 28.20. How's oil? Is oil holding 80 at least? Okay. But broke that down or that trend line and broke this upward channel and kind of leaves you that lower high look right here and that head and shoulders look right there. So how's it going to act down here at 80 flat? At the end of the day, this goes for the TQ as well, that this is positive positive. We're looking for consolidation pullbacks. And we do have a downtrend right here that it's respecting. So oil respecting the downtrend. And ALSN, like a clock, guys. Just churning away to the upside. This is why you market orders in, and then you put your other order in. Boom. Like a clock. Let's take a look at Lumen. Lumen should still be churning to the upside. A tier. If this curls back up, this is a potential play right here that we've been watching. A little bit elevated. Starting to get a little bit of direction here. Break of that trend line. Let's put a stop in underneath this 41.20.